right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look at all the new comic books coming out this Wednesday, December 12th, 2024. I'm going to give you a preview of some of the incentive variants that might be selling at a premium, some of the cool variants and theme variants for the month that might be coming out, some books I'm looking forward to reading, some books that might have some buzz on them, and everything you generally need to know before you hit up the shop on Wednesday. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you like things outside of just comic books, take a look at my Toy Informer channel. I cover everything there from toys to sneakers to video games to anything else collectible that is not a comic book. So if you like that kind of stuff, go check it out. I just did a video game show last week. I'm going to be doing a new sneaker show this week, focused in on some video game themed sneakers. So that should be a lot of fun. And like I said, if you like that kind of thing, go give it a look-see. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Now, with that all said, if you just want to see this week's new releases, don't worry, I got you covered, and I will be right back as soon as this short little intro plays. All right, so let's start off here with my personal picks. Now, these are going to be the books that are the top of my pile, things I just can't wait to get a hold of this Wednesday when I go get my new books. I'm biased. I tell you about my biases right from the outset. So, should be no surprise to any of you that, yes, another Energon Universe book is right here in my picks. Because, again, I love the Transformers, G.I. Joe. This stuff is in my wheelhouse. I'm enjoying what Skybound is doing. So, yes, Transformers number 15 is in the top of my pile. First cover here, this is cover A. Looks like we got a nice shadowy silhouette of Ultra Magnus there, standing over Optimus Prime. Kind of cool. There are multiple covers here as well. There is a B cover and a blank sketch cover, randomly inserted for number 15 for some reason. Usually they keep those for like issue 1s and new story arcs, etc. But I don't know. Here we go. Issue 15's got a sketch variant too. With that, we do have incentives here, including a spoiler cover. Now, I don't know how much of a spoiler it is because the image is out there and it's been out for a while, but we got our 1 in 10 connecting cover, we got our 1 in 25 design cover, and our 1 in 50 spoiler cover. And if you want to see what the spoiler is, well, I got you covered. It's right here. It's just it's just some more Transformers, I guess. We get to see Cliff Jumper, I guess. Coming back and all that kind of fun stuff. Here's a spoiler cover. Some characters you might not have been expecting to see showing up inside this book. But that's not even it. We still have a 1 in 100 foil edition getting thrown out there as well. Optimus Prime just chilling there, sitting there on his throne of rubble. I kind of dig it. I haven't seen what the foil effect is going to do or how that's going to play off, but it is Transformers after all, so metal does lend itself to working well with a foil cover. But hey, why number 15? I don't know. Because they decided they wanted to do a little special for this semi-anniversary-ish type issue. I don't know. That said, that's one book I'm looking forward to. The next book is another Keen Spot book, continuing that Night of the Cadillacs universe. So we had Stitches come out not that long ago with some cool cover. I told you about Killtown last month, and some of my favorite covers were on that issue 1. This time out, we're getting issue 2, continuing that story here. This is supposedly still in development with Sony. So will this be the follow-up or the next big car craze featurette following Fast and the Furious once that all wraps up? I don't know. We'll see. That said, couple of cool covers here, and when I say a couple, that's all we got this time. Last time we had a handful, now we've got 2. We've got a pretty awesome cover A here. I'm not going to there's not much to say here. It's just pretty cool look to it. Pretty cool design. I love the the red pops. It's gorgeous. There is also a it's not a ratio per se, but a $20 comic. There's a $20 cover price one. So it's just a higher retail incentive. I believe it's a foil edition. And it is another Sampei cover who had my favorite of the last time out. I like this one as well. It's just $20 is a bit steep to just ask at the outset. I kind of wish it was just another cover price option, but hey, that's what we got. So you got your option A and your option B. Pay $6 or pay $20. That's up to you. Up next, I've not been in love with the entire Ultimate Universe at Marvel. I've enjoyed most of it, though, and I'm kind of curious of where we're going here. I can't believe it's already been a year, but this is a special edition Ultimate Universe 1 year in, where they're kind of, I guess, getting us set up for what's still to come. what's coming next year. And yeah, the Makers Council, all that fun stuff. We'll see where we're going. I'm kind of curious, so maybe this will reinvigorate my my interest in this universe again. So I'm looking forward to checking this out, including the debut of two major Marvel characters, which I'm sure by now we've all heard about one of them because, well, we don't have enough versions of Wolverine. But yes, one of these covers is of the ultimate version of Wolverine, who seems to have a mask covering the face. So yeah, got that. Outside of that, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. We also got, I believe that's a connecting cover there with the Colossus. And then we got some other options here as well. You got a Peach Momoko showing the Ultimate Universe Black Cat. You got and other options here showing a bunch of groups and teams, etc. Because again, this is the entire universe. So you got Spider-Man showing here, you got Ultimate X-Men there, you got the Ultimates over there, and then we got the Maker, and we even got Black Panther. And yes, that comic in the middle is the Maker, and it is a Frank Miller, and it surprisingly is all right. Give Frank Miller a lot of grief lately because some of these covers, including that Wolverine Deadpool one that's still coming, have been downright not good. But I give credit where credit's due. I kind of like this one because there's not so much dead space. Granted, the space is still filled in with just colorful little Tetris pieces of some kind, but still, it fills the negative space, the empty space, and it looks like a complete cover that has a full thought-out design. Wouldn't you know it? It's all right. I kind of like it. And it is also the Virgin 1 in 100 if you were so inclined into getting one of those. It's not doing it's ratio and less, so you can find it if you really want to pay those kinds of dollars for a book like that. But as I said, it's not that bad, which is a plus in my book. Just saying. On top of that, and on top of this introduction of the Ultimate Wolverine, we are still getting more claws this week as Laura Kinney Wolverine #1 is also coming out this week. Now, this will probably be a book that's on the top of many people's pull piles and pull lists this week, and there are multiple cover options for you available as well. This is the cover A. Red and yellow, cool, can't go wrong there. We also got a stupid logo cover, which again, I'm just not a fan of those. They just seem like a waste unless you're getting them sketched, signed, remarked, or something. Got an Ancelotti there in the middle, not too bad. And probably my favorite is going to be the Campbell, the J. Scott Campbell there in the middle. Yeah, it's a Campbell cover, but I don't know, different pose, different look for the character. I kind of like it. And then we do have a foil edition available as well. And if you like the Campbell and you want to spend even more money, well, you can get the Virgin 1 in 100 version as well as a 1 in 25 that is actually not that bad either. I think that's a Kale Nugu. I don't know how to say, I can't pronounce names properly, but the 1 in 25 here is also pretty good, in my opinion. I like the brown and yellow Wolverine, the Tana Brown. I dig that. And like I said, I like the Campbell here. Now, I'm fine just getting the trade dress. Don't need to pay the 1 in 100 prices. But in case you were interested in doing so, well, right now, the 1 in 100 is having pre-sales right around ratio. 2 bids, 102.50. Couple sales at about 120, a little bit of a premium. Asking prices right now, looking for 110 to 120 mostly. Some looking for as much as 190. But the point is, there are options really close to that ratio mark out there if you really want it. That said, that's up to you. That's your money to spend. And if you want some free money to spend, well, for those of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link below and get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. You try out Whatnot, you try out the application, see what it's all about, get a free $15 just to do so. You'll help out the channel, you get yourself something nice, so you really got nothing to lose there. Now, with that all said, let's get into the things that I also can't wait to read this week. Yes, I, like many of you, actually like reading comic books. I don't know, just call me crazy, but I like reading these things and opening them up and seeing the pretty pictures and words inside, as well as the pretty pictures on the outside. And with that sentiment out there, the first book still on the reading list is Amazing Spider-Man. I gave Amazing Spider-Man grief for such a long time because I just didn't care for gang war and all the goblin stuff, etc. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this little setup with the 8 deaths of Spider-Man. I know we're only 3 issues in so far. Maybe it'll start dragging in a bit. I don't know. But for right now, I'm still on board with the magical aspects. I know we don't need another Spider-Man outfit, and we got another one here, but I like the story. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. And continuing to look forward to this. So here we go, issue 63. The next installment, I believe he's facing off against these twins because he's facing off against the 7 offspring of Sidorak or something like that. I think is the basic premise setup, but the scion of Sidorak, same difference. Point being, this is the cover A. We've got a Scotty Young available for you too. We got a design cover. We're showing off the new uniform. And then we've got these Marvel homages with Disney characters still going. Yes, it's been like 2 or 3 years, I feel, at this point. And on Amazing Spider-Man, every 2 issues or so, they keep giving us new Disney homages. Just random Mickey Mouse characters thrown into different situations and different homage covers for no reason whatsoever. Cool. I don't know. I'm over it, but I'm sure people are still collecting these. With that said, 60 years of X-Men. I mean, that's crazy, but shouldn't these characters be on the X-Men book or one of the several X-Men book that we have? Why is this on Amazing Spider-Man? Just doesn't make sense to me. Call me crazy. That said, that's going to be the 1 in 100 because they have it there. So to me, that's kind of a waste of a 1 in 100 because I don't think anybody cares about these black and white versions of these Disney crossovers anymore. I just don't think they do. I think that's part of the reason why you can find them generally for less than half a ratio. You can find them listed for like 30, 40 bucks. Yeah, that's it. Because nobody really wants it. Why do they keep making it? I don't know, but they do. That's it. I like the one at 25. The 125 with Black Cat's pretty cool, but then again, it's got Black Cat on it, so you got my attention already. Just saying. If that were a that were like one of the other covers, and then the version of that was the 1 in 100, we're talking about a book that's probably going above ratio, right? Just like the X23. Who knows? I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to figure out what sells in our market, does it? That said, let's move on to the next book. Storm number 3. Still enjoying this. Granted, I've only read 2 issues so far, but I'm on board. And the writer had said we are going to follow up. And I'm looking forward to following up on the Eternity business. I don't know if you guys saw that. I did a review show, spoilers, covering the, I think it was the second issue or the first issue. Kind of covered both a little bit. But the writer had mentioned that, yeah, he will be following up on that storyline. So I can't wait for that. I'm intrigued. I'm into this. I'm glad. Storm is one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite X-Men. So glad she's getting some more spotlight, her own little title here for a while. Can't wait to see more. That said, issue 3 coming out this week with a couple of covers here. I like the cover A. My favorite is probably the Derek Chew there in the middle with the trade dress. Then we got another option there for you as well. And then there is one incentive, which is a version of the Derek Chew. There's a 1 in 50. Again, I'm fine with the trade dress personally, but if you like the version and you want to spend that extra money, you can. Right now, it's just a hair above thereabouts. Yes, one pre-sold for 45 bucks, but that was back in October. So I don't know how relevant that sale is anymore. And then one sold on December 3rd for 60 bucks for the 1 in 50. Asking prices right now, well, one at auction starting at 40 bucks and then another one buy it now at 70. Auctions are tricky. You don't know where it's going to end and you got to wait to see it through. It's going to end on Friday. I don't know. We'll see. That said, pretty cool cover, but I'm fine with the trade dress personally. And another X book and another option that Marvel could have used for that Disney cover instead of Spider-Man, we do have Uncanny X-Men number 7, Radon Gray Malkin. So we're continuing the story from X-Men 8, where these 2 teams, these 2 squads are showing their differences in opinions. Wow, another schism in the X-Men universe. Yeah, I still love it. I'm still an X-Men fan, but I will admit we keep retreading a lot of the same storylines over and over again, and eventually I'm going to get tired of it. Right now, I'm still on board and I'm still reading it. So there. But again, I am biased. And I admittedly say that. This again continues from X-Men number 8, is going to continue into X-Men number 9. I think it's only like 4 parts, so it's not going to be a long drawn out thing, but we're getting a little bit of a debate between Cyclops' team and the rest of the crew over what to do about the school. Cyclops apparently wants to raise the whole place to the ground. Just a bit of an overreaction, I guess. But hey, it is what it is. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 7. This is the cover A. We're getting a couple other covers here, including a Brooks there in the middle. And you got, again, the homage to the all-time best-selling comic X-Men 1 by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont. So there we got another part of this connecting cover set. As I said, we were getting. I just didn't know how they were going to connect, but now I see it's going to be X-Men, Uncanny, X-Men, and then Uncanny. So the next parts will be on X-Men 9 and then Uncanny 8 probably. With that said, the incentive here is a version of the Mark Brooks. It's a 1 in 50. It's not doing all that much as far as pre-sales go, so ratio or less, if you're that interested, you can get it. But I want to go back to that Jim Lee homage and just show you what we got so far. So we only got the 2, but we got the 2 covers so far. And of course, boom, they connect like the last one too. So, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised. It is, again, the best-selling comic of all time. You've seen it before, so this shouldn't be a surprise. And we've seen this done in homage, I don't know how many times, but here we go. Another one for you if you want it. Now, if we want to talk about some things that you got to get that you may not want to, well, we're talking about supplies. So, comic supplies, your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your top loaders, pages for your cards, whatever you need to keep your collectibles safe. It's an expense that we all hate having to put money into, don't you? Like, you just don't want to have to spend money on stuff like that. That's like having to pay to get your oil changed. It's just a pain in the butt. You just don't want to do it. But if you got to do it, you might as well use my code and my link below. Rent a 10 and save yourself 10% off while you got to spend that money anyway. So get all the supplies that you need over at BCW. Use my code Rent a 10 and save a couple of bucks using that 10% off code while you have it. So sometimes, it's just one of the things you just got to do. Speaking of just got to do it, now we're going to go into my just got to do it segment, which is basically like my reading list, but I might be either behind on reading or these are titles that I just can't let go because my OCD, my collectible nature just won't let me stop. This is where Amazing Spider-Man was for a while. Even though I was not enjoying the read, I had to keep getting it. So it was here in the just got to do it section. Now, this has become more of a, well, admittedly, there are a lot of comics. There are a lot of comics I'd love to keep up on, but reading so many books a week, I've only got so much time. I mean, I got making content. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I do what I can with my spare time, but sometimes I fall behind, and that already happened with the Green Lantern Civil Corp storyline. I'm still interested, but I'm like an issue or so behind on this event in the Green Lantern universe. I still like what Zermanico's doing as far as art goes, and I do like the story. I just got to catch up. So admittedly, otherwise this would have been on my reading list if I didn't have an issue or 2 to read before this one, but I do have at least an issue to read before I can get to this one. So I had to put it in just got to do it. That said, this is the cover A. We'll see a couple of other covers later on in the show because they fit some of the other special segments. But I do want to point out that in addition to cover A, there are 2 books that connect. Why they did it like this for the same issue, I don't know. This would have made more sense to connect with the next issue, like you do one cover on this issue, one on the next. But for whatever reason, DC decided to give you both Mark Spears covers here on this issue. So here you go. Boom. I dig it. I dig them both. This could have been a wraparound, but DC's got it on 2 separate versions. So you got to get both if you want to complete this set or complete this cover image. But it's pretty cool. Classic lanterns. You got Guy, you got John there, and a couple of the newer ones with Jessica Cruz, etc. But I don't know. I like it. It's just the release of these both for the same issue just seems odd to me. That's all. Just seems odd. It would have made more sense had they been, issue 18 and 19. You got me for both. Now you're just asking me to buy issue 18 twice. Well, why didn't you just make it a wraparound then? And I could have just bought it once. You could even charge me $1 or 2 extra. It would have been a deal. Anyway, just saying. Just an odd choice. That's all. Odd choice by DC. Up next, there is the 1 in 25. Let's not forget that DC does do incentives, and they have been doing pretty good lately on their incentives. I've been liking the art on a lot of this. This one's not bad. It's a Lyrics Lee. You don't generally see Lyrics doing Green Lantern covers. I mean, it's usually like the sexy girl covers, but here we go. We got a pretty cool Green Lantern on the 18th. Granted, you can find this for well under ratio if you want to buy it, but it is out there if you're interested. Also, apart from the Ultimate Universe 1-year check-in, we are also getting the 10th issue of Ultimate X-Men. Just like I mentioned, I think I've said it before. I'm just behind. Like now at this point, I think I'm like 3 issues behind on reading this thing. So I got to catch up. Just got to sit down and just power through. As the holidays are coming up, I got a little bit more time to read as I can only watch like Elf and Miracle on 34th Street and a lot of holiday movies so many times. but the family does love watching them. So while it's on, I can always multitask and do something else, like read my books. So I will try to catch up on some of these titles during the holiday season here, but I'm not caught up yet, which is why Ultimate X-Men 10 is here in the Just Gotta Do It section with the cover A. There's also a design cover B, and then there is a 1 in 25 option as well. I think there's another cover, but I think it fits one of the holiday sections later. So we'll talk about that one, a bit later on in the show. But for now, 1 in 25, ratio or less, you can find it if you want it. Now, this is a long segment. I'm going to prepare you. Last week, as a whole, the show was kind of short. This week, there are a lot of books. There are a lot of books we've already covered. There are a lot of new number ones. So buckle up. Let's try to get through this together. Now, Dark Horse. Starting us off with the third volume, I guess, of Assassin's Apprentice. The third and final chapter of Assassin's Apprentice begins. I don't know much about this series. I believe this is probably... It seems like it's based off of something else, maybe a series of novels or books or something. I don't know much about it, but new number one, starting off here from Dark Horse. $4, one cover, easy. If you want it, you can get it. Otherwise, you don't. Dark Horse is also giving us more from the Minor Threats universe. So from the world of Minor Threats, The Brood, number one. I don't know a lot about the Minor Threats universe. I know we got the Barfly and some of those more quirky type characters. So I imagine that's what this series is going to be as well, more on the quirky side of things, especially coming from like Patton Oswalt and stuff. But $5, we're getting issue 1 here with multiple covers. We've got the cover A here. We've got your other options here, B's and C's, and then we've got a foil version of that cover A, as well as a 1 in 10 thrown in there for good measure. So pick the one that you like and read up if you were into that thing. So with that, I'm going to move on to Parliament of Rooks from Ablaze. Apparently an Eisner Award-winning series. I'm assuming this was a digital comic because it's saying that this is proudly presenting the first time in print. So I imagine this was some sort of a digital tale that they are now printing for the first time. This is cover A, and they only have a black and white version as your other option on this book. So yeah, so basically one cover. Not much difference between the two. I mean, you were talking about hues of blue and yellow. That's it. It's not very color and then no color. So I don't know if this was necessary, but they did it. So get it if you want it. That said, I think it's only going to be like 2 issues. So not a huge investment if you want to check this out. And it won an Eisner, so it's probably going to be pretty interesting. In Bloom, coming from Boom, with a lot of description about something about cells and flowers and people and agents. I don't know. There's just too many new titles coming out, and a lot of them are starting to blend together and sound a lot of the same. I'm like, so wait, am I reading about Skin Police or what's going on now? And Skin Police also has an issue coming out this week, but I couldn't find a place to put it because it was almost in the Just Gotta Do It section, but I just didn't know if I was actually going to be picking it. I don't know. The point being, we'll see. In Bloom, though. Cover A, got a cover B option here as well. And then there are some incentives with a 1 in 10, I think, and a 1 in 25 by Jay Lee. And then you also got the unlockable, which is a version of the cover B, because Boom just loves doing those unlockable variants, which is kind of like a 1 per store if they meet certain criteria. Again, I don't know what that criteria is because I'm not a shop owner or a dealer. I don't have a Diamond account, but that's what it is. And that unlockable, those things are hit or miss, basically, with the market. Some can hit, and then all of a sudden, they're $20, $30 books. Other times, they're just forgotten about, and they're $7 or $8. This case, one sale for $20. Asking prices looking for $12 and $25. It'll really depend on the popularity of the series, really. And as far as I can tell right now, we don't know much about it. And it doesn't seem like the market is rushing to get this yet. But if the series is good, they may go back for it. I don't know. We shall see. That said, we are getting another Batman number 1 because we don't get enough Batman number 1s either. So, Batman Dark Patterns. I don't know. Okay. During the early years, I don't know how many times we can go back to the early years of Batman's career and tell all of these tales that we didn't know about, that we missed apparently the first time. I get it. I mean, you have to do it, but just, do we have to do it? Can we spread these things out a little bit more? It just feels like on top of one another. Like he's fighting werewolves and other early stories here and there, and it's horror. Then he's doing things with Santa Claus. Come on, man, just give me a break. Can't buy 20 Batman books every month. But be that as it may, we're getting them, and I guess I shouldn't complain that the option is there. So there it is. If you want it, there's the cover A. Then there's a B cover here as well, and there is an incentive, which is very similar to the cover A. It's just kind of take the trade dress off and make it smaller, and that is the 1 in 25. As you might guess, that is not selling for premium. It is half ratio or less. So if you want it, you can get it. And with that, I'm moving on to Superwoman Special. Lois Lane, Woman of Steel. Everybody's a superhero, Superman character in Action Comics these days. And it going weekly, it is bad enough I couldn't keep up once a month with all this different super whatever characters they had in that title. Then they started coming out weekly. I just can't keep up. Just can't do it. It's too much. But we do have a special here focusing in on Lois Lane. 48 pages, $6. If you like Lois as Superwoman, here you go. You're getting a one shot. So go pick it up. Got that. Pretty cool Elizabeth Torque cover there in the middle. Another option there, A's, B's, and C's. And then we do have another Mark Spears incentive variant here that is pretty sweet. I like it. And it's got Lobo on it. And you remember how popular his Lobo variant was and kind of is getting again. But this case, he doesn't have the troll hair. I don't know if I struck a nerve with that one. I know Mark pointed it out when he said I made fun of the hair looking like a troll, but it did. It looked like a troll on the other cover. It is what it is. This one, pretty sweet, though. I do like the look of it, and it is a 1 in 25. And I had to look at it to see what it was doing. And considering with the success of Monsters right now, I was not surprised to see that, yes, early on, we're already seeing some early interest in this 1 in 25, be it because it is a Mark Spears, it is incentive cover, and it is for a one-shot title that may not get heavily ordered. I don't know what the orders are. I'm just saying it's a one-shot. So $31, up to $75. Not surprised there. One listed right now at $75 with 21 watchers keeping an eye on that thing to see what's going to happen with it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens come Wednesday. That's why this is the watch list. I don't know what's going to happen. I can guess, but I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be above ratio come the end of the week. But I don't know for sure. I don't know. We'll see. With that said, we're moving on because we still have a lot of number ones to go before we even get to the holiday stuff too. I'm going to save that towards the end of this. But Doll Parts number one, Lovesick Tales. So everybody's doing like these own corner of their universes and they're spinning off into more and more titles. It's getting to be so much. I mean, you got Ghost Machine doing that. You got the Energon Skybounds doing that. You got, the Radiant Blacks got their own corner of the universe, and now apparently Lovesick has their own corner of the universe over there. So, I mean, it's cool, but man, there's just a lot of books these days. That said, a lot of pink. Cover A, a lot of pink. B's and C's, a lot more pink. So grab what pink cover you like. There's also a sketch cover and more pink here. And then we also have incentives, which are virgin versions of these covers. Still a lot of pink. 1 in 10s and 1 in 25s. They're pretty cool. Like a lot of these covers look really nice. They just all kind of also look very similar. So I couldn't kind of pick a favorite out. But I'm not really in on that corner of the Image universe because, again, time is limited. If it is good and you guys are reading it and I should check it out, please let me know in the comments down below. I love getting suggestions on books I should be reading because like I'm saying, we all have limited time. So we rely on others to give us like heads up sometimes. And some of you watch this show to get a heads up. I rely on you guys to give me a heads up because I'm just one of you. I just read comics too. So if there's something I'm missing, I want to hear it so I can check it out too. But with that said, let's keep it rolling because we still got more to do. We're already half hour in. Alien Paradiso. Finally got to see Romulus once it hit streaming. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Kind of felt like the Rogue One to the Star Wars universe, that kind of thing. Not to say the quality level is exactly the same, but sort of the same. Like as far as if it's, apples to apples. I don't know, anyway. Welcome to Paradiso. Kind of curious. Aliens are back again. I mean, there's a TV show coming. We're getting more and more content, comics, etc., crossovers. And the Aliens versus Avengers is also doing well. I'm kind of curious. I'm looking forward to this. And I'm really looking forward to this playing card cover for some reason. Right here in the middle. It's just something cool about the queen on the queen, the Queen of Hearts. I don't know. I just kind of like it. But all of these covers are pretty solid across the board. So A, B, or C. And the incentive variant here is a 1 in 25. Isn't half bad either. So pick them up if you want them. Nothing doing like really a high premium or anything right now. It's basically around ratio. So I mean, you can keep an eye on it, but if you want it, you can generally find it out there. Infinity Watch #1. I thought this was coming out last week, but it's coming out this week. So yeah, I didn't love that forever long annual crossover event introducing us to all these new Infinity Watch characters. I still don't really care all that much about Coulson and these knockoff Power Rangers or whatever's going on here. I dislike a lot of their names, their power sets. I just am not personally on board for this. Just not my cup of tea. Sorry, it's not everything's made for me, and I don't like everything. So just saying, just not really into this, but we're getting it. With that said, feels like a waste of Colleen Wing, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, cover A, pretty cool. Innie Huck Lee option right there in the middle. And then that is the 1 in 100 variant edition as well. And there's a 1 in 25 showing the original Infinity Watch, who I would actually have preferred to read if they would have brought back this squad with Pip the Troll, Moondragon, etc., and Gamora. Apart from Surfer being involved here and there, Adam Warlock. Yeah, I'd be reading that. This new team, I can't even remember their names. It's like Timeout or some dumb nonsense like that. It's just not for me. Anyway, 1 in 100 option if you want it. And I don't know how readily available that cover will be, as I looked and I could not find any pre-sales, and there was only one listed, and they were seeking $250. So we'll see. This could be very tough to find. Yes, maybe one does sell, and maybe it does sell for a lot of money. I don't know. We'll figure it out as the week goes on, but this is what I've seen so far. Now, moving on, thought this was a holiday book, but it's not. It's just a pool party, so I didn't really put it in the holiday section. But Pet Pool Party is a Deadpool animal one-shot. Just, yeah, because why not? People are going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it, but some people are going to buy it. Granted, there's only two covers. You got A and you got a B, so pick them up if you want. Yeah, I mean, Dog Pool was pretty funny in the movie, but I don't need to be spending $7. Is that $7? $6 or $7 on this personally. So, but if you do, I'm not going to judge you. You enjoy what you want to enjoy. I just got to I got to reallocate my assets elsewhere. That's all. With that said, I'm up in the air on this one. This is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man 1. This is a precursor to the upcoming animated show. I really didn't want the animated show to begin with. It's just not something I don't think I needed. Like, I don't think I need to see the early years of Spider-Man animated again. Just bring back, the Spider-Man 94 show or whatever. That would have been fine by me. Just give me new tales. Just every time they go back and try to tell early tales, all they do is just rework characters again. Like, we'll give you the early Doc Ock and the early Lizard. And come on, how many times can we do this? So, I don't know. That aside, I'm still up in the air if I even want to check this out. So the precursor comic is also a question mark for me. So the prequel is here. Cover A. We got a couple other covers here as well. I do like the Innie Huck Lee there in the middle, eating the pizza. Seems to fit. Cool. AF-15 homage, obviously. Got to do that too. And there is a 1 in 25 incentive here with Spidey holding the pretzel. I really think the pretzel guy should have been the food cart guy. Hey, Spidey, do a backflip. Should have been that guy from the Homecoming movie, but, whatever. Was it Homecoming or was it the next one? Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. The guy yelling at Spidey to do a flip, and he's like, cheers. Anyway, it was a food cart of some kind. But this book also could be limited. Could be, not a lot of shops ordering a lot. We'll see. Only one pre-sale so far, right at ratio, and there's only one listed looking for like $33. So we'll see what happens as the week goes on. Now we'll get really into the holiday stuff with Creepshow, Tales of Suspense and Horror. Yes, I know what you're thinking. This is a Halloween special, but it's not. It's a Christmas special. You see the Christmas hat? That's a Santa Creepshow character. So first, a New Year's Eve party gets fiendish. So you get holiday stories, holiday anthology book. Pretty cool. It's a holiday special for 2024. So it's a one shot. Here's a cover A. There is a cover B that's pretty awesome. Just the textures and the dripping of the face. It feels like you could touch it. Like, well done there on that B cover. And then there is a 1 in 10 incentive as well, which is, again, like a callback to more of those classic Norman Rockwell-esque type of paintings, but creepified. That said, we do have another holiday special. We have Dread the Halls out of Image, the perfect holiday stocking stuffer. So we have some more. I guess there's a Krampus story here, but I do like the Maria Wolf cover here. It is pretty awesome. It looks almost like a Japanese tattoo, just with a lot of movement and stuff. I don't know, just it's got a cool look to it on this cover A. There are other options here as well with a B and a gift wrapped, and then there are incentives with a 1 in 20 black and whitish, partly colored version of that cover A, and then a EC horror homage there for this Dread the Halls 1 in 10. So yeah. Moving on, speaking of EC horror, we are also getting EC horror out of Oni, right? Isn't Oni doing this? I think Oni's doing this. I forget who's publishing this. Anyway, Shiver Suspense Stories, Holiday Season, Holiday Terror, $8, 56 pages. Another square bound book here. Yeah, it's Oni Press. Oni Press and EC Comics are proud to present. So yeah, there we go. More holiday hijinks mixed with horror. It's always fun to do. Those things are always fun to read. Just a lot of them coming out all at once. So you kind of have to pick your poison here. But we do have that cover A. Pretty cool. Adam Hughes cover B there with the kids and the looking through the railings. It's almost like bars. And I don't know. I dig it. I like it. And it's Hughes. And then there's a black and white sketch cover. Meanwhile, we do also have some incentives. So we got a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50. Wait a second. Doesn't that 1 in 10 look familiar? Did we just see a 1 in 10 just like that a second ago?
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
Seriously. Do we have to do this the same week? They're both 1 in 10s. Do you have to do the same homage the same week? Okay. But here, in case you're curious, this is from Panic. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I get it. It's the time of year. Everybody wants to do an homage cover. Oh, what should we do? Oh, let me do this call back to EC horror because we're doing that kind of thing. And well, you both did it. Congratulations. It's like Deep Impact and Armageddon. It's Volcano versus Dante's Peak, I guess, here. So do you want the Ben Harvey version? But at least they both credit After Felt. After A Felt. So just saying. At least they gave credit where credit was due. It's just, man, bad timing is all. With that said, speaking of the holidays, we still have the rest of the holiday books to get to. We have DC's Winter Wonderland covers, which are kind of like their Christmas card covers that they've been doing the last couple of years. This week, we only have another single installment. We have Green Lantern coming out. So I just put the regular Green Lantern cover there so you know what title it goes with, but it is for Green Lantern number 18. We also, apart from having the two spears that connect, we have the Christmas cover here as well. And that's the only one this week. We got some more coming next week, and then our holidays will be wrapping up, I guess. But Marvel also giving us more holiday fun this week as opposed to last week. Last week we only had the Miles Morales book. This week we are getting Incredible Hulk number 20, Scarlet Witch number 7, which I know you're probably wondering, like, is this really a Winter Wonderland? Well, there's snow and the North Star. So yes, I guess this is a holiday themed cover, even though I think that's a bit of a stretch. Then we have Ultimate X-Men. Yeah. I also assumed, yeah, there's holiday stuff there in the background, and they're all sitting around eating. But I'm not Japanese, so I don't know the normal celebration style for a Japanese Christmas. But it's apparently being rendered here on Ultimate X-Men number 10. And then sneakily, this one was not on the list. The list that I found, Spirits of Vengeance seem to be giving their own holiday fun here with some dead reindeer. So they look kind of like Thestrals, I guess. But Ghost Rider riding as Santa from Hell, I guess. I don't know. So four installments there. Marvel versus Capcom. They are continuing this set with only 2 this week. We had a couple last week. I did a one short already. There's another short I'll release next week with the rest of them. Just kind of splitting it up. There wasn't enough again to do it weekly because there's only 2 covers this week. We have Thanos here on the Infinity Watch #1. So again, not really looking for this title, but this cover is kind of cool. And then Uncanny X-Men #7 has this pretty awesome Rogue design cover. So you can get that one as well. Here's the full list of all the books coming out. You can see there, Infinity Watch was supposed to come out last week, but then they moved it to this week. Next week, we're getting 3 more, and then 2 more on Christmas Day, or right around Christmas Day, because I'm sure shops will not be open on Christmas Day Wednesday, but I guess everybody will get their books Thursday the 26th. But with that said, Bengus doing all these covers. They're pretty cool. I split it up into 2 shorts, one from last week, one I'll just debut next week. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Stormbreakers rolling on this week as well. This month's topic, I guess, is Miz Minutes. So we have Miz Minutes on Incredible Hulk #20. Yes, following up the landmark 800th issue of Incredible Hulk, where his sidekick was all wolfed out. We are getting more wolfiness in the regular Incredible Hulk. I didn't have a place for it because, I don't know, it is in my just got to do it pile. I just didn't feel like throwing it in there. Like, I am still getting it because I am still reading the storyline. I'm just starting to lose a little momentum now because I felt like we dragged to get here, and yeah, we'll see how much longer I hang on for. But with that said, we have one more Miz Minutes cover here on X Factor. This one's I've already checked out on. I'm just not really into the government sponsored. It's just too many X books. I can't buy them all. I just can't. My wallet will not allow me to support every X-Men title. I just can't. There's just too many of them. So X Factor was one of the ones I kind of tipped out on early. So if it's been good, great, or whatever, please tell me so I can get back in before it's too late. Because I got like the first 2 or 3 issues. I just, like I said, I just couldn't keep up, and I can't get every title. But with that said, Miz Minutes guest starring with the crew. Cool. Going back to DC, they're continuing their artist spotlight on one of my favorites, David Nakayama. This week, we only have one, and it is another cover for Green Lantern #18. Jeez, just Green Lantern 18 just loaded with covers this week. But yeah, there you go. Nakayama. Cool. Other covers I like. Here we go with this section. Action Comics. Despite the fact I can't keep up and I don't want to keep reading this, I do like this Jason Sean Alexander. And you see what I just added there? I added the artist names in this particular segment. So for as far as covers go, that I'm pointing out the ones that I like, I decided to put the artist names in there because I always forget by the time I get to here because I'm just sitting in my chair talking for 40 minutes straight about comics. A lot of things just kind of fall out of my head or I lose track of my thoughts. So it's on the slide. Jason Sean Alexander giving us a pretty awesome Superman looking at the world from up above. I kind of dig it. Yes, the cape is extra long, and it is a little silly when you think about it. But outside of that, I dig this image. Also, we have Batman and Robin #16. Dan Panosian. I mean, I could see the signature on the cover, and I didn't need the name, but I put it there anyway because, again, one of my favorites, Dan Panosian, especially the last year or so. He's been killing it on these covers. This is another one I like. The 2 of them, I just love that there's actual background there. Like, how many comic covers is just some vague nothing there? But this, we have a building with some pretty cool design artwork there with the 2 of them swinging on their ropes. Classic Batman and Robin. We also get an incentive that's not half bad here on this Batman and Robin 16, and that's this 1/25 by Carmine Di Guandomenico. I don't know if I said that right at all, but still a cool cover. I like it with the shadows and look up above, the ominous look, the library. It's cool. I like it. I like this 1/25. You can find these 2 for half ratio, etc. Also, continuing on with Batman's Adventures with Santa Claus. Well, it's not just Batman. Even though the title is Batman Santa Claus, it's like the whole Justice League. But Batman Santa Claus, Silent Night #3, Silent Night Returns #3. This is a pretty cool Rico Murakami. This is like the villain, like this Templar ghostly knight thing that's kind of causing havoc for the Justice League. yeah, it looks pretty cool. Just a cool cover there. The one at 25 is a pretty awesome Marguerite Sauvage Zatanna cover, so I like that too. Yeah, this one could be tricky. It's right around ratio right now. So I looked at pre-sale prices and asks. It's right there around that $20 to $30 mark. So there is a little above, a little below. We'll see how this shakes out as the week goes on. I just like the cover. Just like I like the cover here on Scarlet Witch #7. Despite the fact that that holiday cover was a stretch, just with her and Snow, this #7 by Russell Dauterman is this is the cover A. It's really cool. He's been doing a great job on the cover A's here, and then we got Tommy and Billy there in the background, and Amaranth or whatever her name is, continuing that story. So yeah, people I think are getting back into Scarlet Witch. Agatha was a solid show. I will admit I enjoyed it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it, but they delivered something that I actually kind of liked. But here with Scarlet Witch, another cover here. We got Jeff the Land Shark on this cover here with Scarlet Witch. Why? I don't know. Well, just because. But I'm sure people will go and gravitate towards it because from what I hear, I think Jeff the Land Shark is getting a bit of a resurgence this week with, I think was he released in like Marvel Rivals or something? Video game relation, drops, causing people to go pick up their Jeff the Land Shark ones and any covers they could find, basically. So wouldn't be surprised if people start picking this one up this week, too. This one kind of sneaky. I don't know much about the longest title in the world, which is The Armory of Wars, Good Apollo on Burning Star 4, Volume 2, number 8. Yeah, I don't know much about this title, but it's out of Boom. I can tell you, though, that I think this cover is pretty awesome. I don't know, just something really cool about the image. It's like a cybered out, skeletal looking Hulk barbarian thing, and then there's a knight standing in front. No World for Tomorrow. I don't know. I just like this image. So just a cool cover by Jonathan Wayshak. And then there is also a 1 in 10 sketch version of this, which is just as good. Usually I don't like black and white sketch covers, but this one, you see the detail in the art, and that's why I liked it to begin with. And I like it still, even in black and white. So this 1 in 10 is pretty sweet, if just in my opinion. With that said, those are just the covers that I like that I didn't cover elsewhere on the show. But as we try to wrap up, let's get to the later prints. Not a lot here. Luckily for us, not a lot here, and no incentives, thankfully. But we do have some facsimiles. Starting off with DC giving us Guy Gardner. Cool. I don't have a Guy Gardner #1. I don't have Green Lantern 59. I don't have a first print of that. I've always wanted to get one, but then I could never find a copy that I liked that was in condition that I liked for a price that I wanted to pay. And then he started getting pricey as announcements and all those things, and Fillions playing him in the movie, etc. So maybe one of these days I'll get one, but until then, I can grab a facsimile for $4, or you can grab a sketch cover for $5, or I can grab a shiny foil for $6. I don't care about the foil. I think doing foil on a facsimile throwback is kind of silly, but if you like them shiny, go ahead and buy it, Bruce. Sorry, I like picking on Bruce for his affinity for foil covers. I think he's losing it a little bit because they're doing so many. But yeah, it's just for me. I don't need to pay that extra $1 or $2. I'll just be fine with the other one. And surprisingly, Marvel went bare bones with theirs. So we're getting a Green Lantern first appearance thrown back. Marvel is countering with a facsimile of Falcon's first appearance for Captain America 117 this week. And surprisingly, there is not only no incentive, there's also no foil version or anything. They're just giving us this one. Shocker. I would have sworn they would have been doing an incentive on this one. But no. I think this is an opportunity missed. But anyway, I mean, if you're going to do them, you might as well do them on books that are timely. I know the movie's still not due till February, but it's still coming very soon. So Sam Wilson as Captain America is coming our way very soon. We should be building that up. Anyway. Moving on over to Skybound. Yeah, we're getting Transformers second prints. And yes, they're double dipping with Autobots and a Decepticons version. This is not new. They've been doing this the whole way, so I can't fault them for doing it now. My only question is, why are we getting a second print for issue 11 and issue 13? What happened to issue 12? Not enough interest in issue 12. But there we go. 11 and 13 this week. And brand new issue 15 just came out, so you see they're pretty close on reprinting these things. With that said, We are bringing back the oversized section this week because we have more oversized books to talk about this week. Where I think last week we had one, if not any. I can't remember. We had that collected edition, though, with that weird 1 in 10 for Ain't No Grave. Still kind of weird incentive on a trade paperback. I don't know. Just seems still sitting weird with me. I actually did find one, and I just grabbed it because it was just a curiosity of my own. Plus, I liked Ain't No Grave, so I picked that up. It should be. I actually might have shown up today, for all I know. I think my son grabbed the mail, but anyway, oversized books. Let's get this done. The City Beneath Her Feet. More Distillery, because Distillery is the king of the oversized books these days. DC Black Label is kind of abandoned going back to these. It seems that way, at least, as I haven't seen a big DC Black Label book in a while. And they're bringing back Vertigo, so we may not see those anymore. But Distillery is rolling with them. So 48 pages, $9. I love how they kind of give you almost like a movie tagline. So it's like, if you like this, then you'll like that. So for this one, without having to read that whole setup, for fans of Strangers in Paradise, Kill Bill, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's an interesting mashup. Kind of sells it, though. It gives you a sense of what the book is, right? Cover A here. Couple of other options here, including a Tula Lotte in the middle. Pretty cool. And then we also have some incentives. I believe there's also a sketch cover, but it would have been extra, and I didn't want to do another slide just for the sketch cover, so I didn't put it in. But we have a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50. We're also getting a special holiday book, Through the Boughs, a Yuletide offering. Yeah, so creepy. 64 pages, $10 for fans of Over the Garden Wall, Chronicles of Narnia, and Krampus. So you know it's going to be a little dark. Cover A here. Couple other options here as well. Not too bad. Looks like the one kind of looked like an advent calendar. And then we have a black and white version and a sketch cover here. And then we have our incentive offerings as well with a 1 in 10, 25, and 50. Cool. Still not done. Distillery coming out with 3 this week, as we are also getting Warm Fusion #1 out of Scott Hoffman and Alberto Ponticelli, Lee Lowridge, and Steve Wands. Anyway, this one is apparently for fans of Videodrome, The Thing, and RoboCop. Interesting setup there. 48 pages for $9. This is the A. We got a Tula Lotte again here in the middle. I don't know what's with the Max Rebo ×3, but dressed as Professor Pig doing some butcher work. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, this looks like it could be weird, could be strange, could be interesting. Options here as well for the incentives, 10s, 25s, and 50s. Pick the one that you like, if you like any of them. And then we are also getting the next installment of Mad Magazine. So don't be alarmed. Mad Magazine issue 41 is here to save you. Magazine, $6. Pick it up if you like your Mad Magazine stuff. And since we're doing oversized, we also should cover the artist proof edition of Sacrificers #1. This is an 11 by 17 format. That is the Bristol board size standard that a lot of comic artists do and used to work on. Remember back in the day before a lot of them started drawing on those Wacom digital screens, etc. Back when they used to draw on Bristol board, it used to be 11 by 17 with the little blue outlines that the printers didn't pick up, etc. That's what this is based off of. So 11 by 17 format. I believe it's $25, but it is, again, it's huge. So, I mean, you understand why you're paying, because it's like it's twice the size of a normal comic. But with that said, let's get into our last segment, Cheesecake covers, and wrap this thing up for today, because I'm getting kind of tired. With that said, let's start off with DC. DC is giving us Gotham City Sirens Uncovered #1. Why didn't I put this in the #1 section? Well, because this is not really a comic book. It's Gotham City Sirens Uncovered, which is their collection of cover art inside this book. So it's not a comic. It's just a collection of cover art, which is going to be a lot of Cheesecake cover art, which makes it perfect for the Cheesecake section. So cover A here, as you can see why. We also got a foil version of it. We got other options here. I really dig the one on the side. I forget who the artist is there. And then there's a 1 in 25 and a, I just don't really love the 1 in 50. Just, yeah, it's just not for me. I don't know. It's just, it's got like an anime quality to it, but it's just, I don't know. I would have moved things around. But with that said, those are options out there if you're interested. Witchblade has a couple of covers here. Number 6. This looks like a familiar cover. This looks like a cover from the original run. And then we got this option here as well. But then again, it's Witchblade, so a lot of the covers just look very similar to other covers. But just saying. We're also getting this Grim Tales of Terror at a Zenescope. So another holiday special. Yes, I could have put it in the holiday section, and I could have put in the new number 1s because it is a number 1. But you know, it's Zenescope, so it's staying here. This is what the Cheesecake section is all about. So I can't not have the Zenescope book not in this section. So cover A. A couple other options here. Got Pierre Luigi in the middle. I really dig the Reaper there on the side with the red. That's a really cool image. It's probably my favorite of the bunch. But the Pierre Luigi Abbondanza, if I'm saying the name even close, also has a risque version for the 1 in 20. So go pick that one up if you are so inclined. We also are getting Valkyrie Saviors. I was going to say Sailors? Saviors. Issue 3. Key of Storms. Giantess of some sort. Cool. Out of Antarctic. And there is a B cover option as well. So if you like either of those, go grab your Valkyrie Saviors. Number 3. And then we are getting Heat Seekers. So Heat Seeker Combustion, a Gun Honey series out of Titan. Yeah, you know these covers, and there are a lot of them. They all fit here. This is the very definition of what this section is all about in this show. The finest kind of pulp noir. Yep. Anyway, there's our cover A. There is a foil version of that. There are a couple of photo options as well. Then we've got this selection here, which if these aren't naughty enough for you, well, guess what? We'll get you some black bags and black bars to cover up the bits that we cannot show here on this show. But those comics are out there if you want them, and they will not have those black bars on them, though they will probably be hidden under a poly bag until you get home. And then we can take our one over there on the right, and I believe there is a virgin version of it as well. So yeah, cool. With that said, let's get to Marvel, because Marvel, well, not known mostly for a lot of these types of covers. There's a few. I mean, here we go. We got a Dodson Dazzler on issue 4, and yeah, a couple other options here as well, including that Frizen, which is pretty awesome there in the middle. I'm fine getting the trade dress, but there is a 1 in 50 virgin version of it right there, which again is very nice. And I'm not surprised that it is selling at a premium already, with copies selling for $80, $90 already for this 1 in 50. Asking prices, bidding starts at $60. Buy it now for $100. Buy it now for $170. We'll see where this ends up, but yeah, this is an early indicator that this is one people are looking for this week. But we'll see what the volume says. With that, Phoenix. We're also getting a new issue of Phoenix here, issue 6. I think she's squaring off against Thanos in this one because, well, you know, she's Omega level mutant, so she needs a hefty big bad. They're going to run out. I can't see how long this title is going to go for. But issue 6, pretty cool cover A. This is a nice one here as well by Villalobos. So Pablo Villalobos also giving us a virgin version for the 1 in 50. Checking out the pre-sales on this one. Well, there are a couple. 45 to 70. There's one listed for 30, but it's not a buy it now for 30. It's an auction starting at 30. So yes, it's a 1 in 50 starting at $30. We don't know where it'll end come Friday, but that's the only one listed. So we'll see what happens. And then our final book, I think, for the day, we have this X Factor number 5. Again, I kind of dropped off on X Factor, but it's another Frizen. It's a pretty awesome cover. Polaris. I dig the green. It's nice. I'm fine with the trade dress, but if you want to pay more, there is a virgin 1 in 100 option there. And this one could be tough because I don't know if there's a lot of X Factor fans picking up a lot of X Factor books from their shops. So no pre-sales, one listed, looking for $170. So once again, we'll see what happens as the week goes on. But if I can get this done in under an hour, I will try. That's all I got for you for this week. So thank you for all the support. Make sure you check out all the shows here on the channel. We got some fun stuff coming up for you this week. We got another tax show on Wednesday. I'll try to get to you a dollar bin digging on Thursday. Hot 10 on Friday, followed by the qualified. Saturday night special on Saturday. And the Dark Side Boys will be there again on Sunday. And then we'll start the week all over again. And go check out Toy Informer while you're at it. And with that all said, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right?